Hey, Amy, why'd you call me in today? Hey, Sam, we're gonna need you to start filming Spider-Man in October. We don't even have a script yet. We have 4. They're all crap! Not this one. What, you wanna run David's script? Well, what else am I supposed to do? I just want you to give me more time. Well, we don't have time! The guys over at Marvel Studios want Spider-Man back. And we can't lose him. So that's it? After all this time, you're gonna take Spider-Man away from me? Wait, no, Sam, it doesn't have to be like this. I don't want to make a movie anything less than great, Amy. So you know what? You go ahead with your reboot that you've been planning this whole time. Jerry, get Marc on the phone. What? Get him now! Why the hell did you take Spider-Man away from Mr. Raimi? I mean, he just came straight off the masterpiece that is Spider-Man 3. Sandman, defeated. Harry Osborn, gone. Venom, out. And you expect someone to write a compelling script with the loss of these major villains with these type of time restraints? Come on, Amy. Then you go and give Spider-Man a movie trilogy where each film has made $800 million in the box office to Marc? Marc, a man whose experience consists of making music videos by a band loved by all middle school kids. The All-American Rejects.
Wow. You filmed Tyson Ritter doing the same thing in different locations. And each location is a difficult situation that Tyson just has to move along from. Great job, Marc.
What do you think, Marc? Sony watched 500 Days of Summer and said to themselves,
You know that guy that made Joseph Gordon-Levitt and a bunch of other people do a dance routine to You Make My Dreams Come True?
so what if we give him Spider-Man and see what type of web-slinging sequences he can come up with? You got the job because of your last name, Marc. The Amazing Spider-Man, made by Marc Webb. Spider-Man shoots webs. Anyways, The Amazing Spider-Man. Peter Parker gets bit by a genetically modified spider, and that gives him spider-like abilities. And let's just dive right into his sad origin story.
We started in one of the most lifeless games of hide-and-seek to be seen on the big screen, because they decided to make the color grading of the scene really gray and the background music all operatic.
So instead of the intended effect of having us feel for a kid who is soon to lose his innocence, we instead see a kid where the world surrounding him had no innocence to begin with. I feel no sorrow. I feel no pain. Nothing personal, Marc.
It's only a game.
Then he starts looking at himself, and then he's looking at himself again. But he's a big boy now. A 28-year-old big boy.
Yeah, Andrew, you're not fooling anyone, bud. Neither are you, Emma. Or are you, Chris?
I'm just kidding, Chris. You know I love you, baby.
Piranha free, double D.
So apparently Peter's got no friends, but I don't know about that one, guys. A good-looking dude that skateboards, is into photography, stands up to bullies, wicked smart, and has a damaged past that makes him all mysterious.
Girls should be lining up around the block to jump his bones. He's like the perfect boy for all Tumblr users. But apparently that's not the case. We as the audience have to find a way to relate to the protagonist, but the film fails to give us a reason why we should. Peter starts off as a cool kid, gets bit, and gets even cooler. Marc, did you even go to high school, my guy?
So Peter goes home and finds his dad's suitcase under one of the basement stairs, cops a feel and finds, what's this? Some of his dad's old documents.
I saw that, Marc.
Starting the Rubik's Cube blue, then having it turn red and white, blue and red because Spider-Man dons a blue and red costume, then white because of Spider-Man's white webs. And who browses the web like this?
Marc, if you were a piece of soap on the bathroom floor, I would easily be able to pick you up because you are not slick. Guess who works with Kurt Connors? Just guess.
It's Gwen Stacy, who happens to be right next to Kurt Connors on Peter's computer screen.
This little foreshadowing you did here, Marc, was real cute. Real cute.
So Peter just goes to Oscorp and decides to wander around and try to find clues that will lead him to his father. Whoa, this guy had the same folders his father had. So Peter uses his super spy skills and follows him into this room. But no, it's just a room full of spiders. And bam! One of the spiders decides to give Peter a hickey.
And then you have the part of the film where Peter goes all like, whoa, what's happening to me?
How am I doing this? I don't know my own strength. I'm gonna practice my skateboarding skills.
You have Spider-Man, a character who has amazing acrobatic abilities, and you dedicate a montage scene to where Peter does ollies? Are you trying to make a Zoomies commercial or something?
And you have him do these ollies in an abandoned shipyard. So not only is the main focus of the scene uninspired, but the backdrop of the scene is lackluster.
There's nothing from a visual standpoint that holds my attention in any way. The scene barely has enough rhyme or reason as to why it should be in the final edit.
The only good thing to come out of this scene is the final 5 seconds where it alludes to Peter's future web slinging abilities.
So why is this scene in the film, Mark? Why?
Have you been paying attention to the music?
What? No? Oh. Coldplay. Coldplay may be the best rock band of all time, Mark, but they have to be used properly. You can't just throw them in. You have to use the right song to fit the tone of the scene. And Till Kingdom Come does not fit the tone the scene was going for. You don't want the soft, mellow tones of Till Kingdom Come. You want the hard, head-bopping beats of Viva La Vida.
I hear Jerusalem, bells are ringing, Roman choirs of singing.
It's time for Peter to add on to his sad origin story. So Uncle Ben gets murdered, and it's all Peter's fault.
On the day of his death, Uncle Ben gets angry at Peter, and rightfully so. His nephew Peter has destroyed school property, humiliated Flash, and has forgotten to pick up Aunt May, so she has to walk home alone at night. Then that untitled little brat has the audacity to get angry and storm off when he was the one who caused all this. So Uncle Ben goes to look for Peter and gets killed by the guy that Peter let get away.
Wow, this doesn't make me root for Peter at all. In fact, I'm absolutely livid. How can I root for a guy who does such terrible things? How am I supposed to root for an irresponsible heroine who abuses his powers? And what does he learn from this? Nothing!
He abuses his power even more and goes on a vigilante crusade to hunt for his uncle's killer.
He may be hunting down criminals, but his motivations are completely wrong. A hero doesn't act out of spite and anger. So you'd assume that the movie would go down the path of Peter learning how to become a true superhero? That revenge is a dish best served never? Because even if Peter does find Uncle Ben's killer, that won't change the fact that he's wasted nights trying to find him, when he could have been doing better things with his time.
Such as consoling Aunt May.
Yeah, Peter, of course she can't sleep. She just lost her husband and she's scared that she's gonna lose you too. And damn it, Mark!
Mark, you just had to have the kettle reach a boiling point, as the argument between the two comes to a boiling point.
You make me sick, Mark. But no, the film completely forgets about looking for Uncle Ben's killer.
What? No, I didn't forget.
Yes, Mark, a shot of the poster is enough to close this plot. It's as if you and your screenwriters just completely forgot about it and just put it in after. The subplot about Peter looking for his father we never hear from again after Kurt Connors says,
I'm afraid I can't help you much, Peter. I don't know why they left or where they were going.
well, if you're gonna drop these plot points already, you better have something to take its place. And this movie does. Kinda. With the main antagonist, Kurt Connors. Yeah, my one-armed friend causes a lot of issues for our arachnid fellow. So this man has been working on cross-species genetic to get his arm back. Because lizards can regrow limbs, and if you put that part of the lizard DNA into a human, then bam! Kurt Connors is getting his arm back, baby.
When he realizes that his serum is not good for everyone, he quickly hunts down his boss who's trying to give his faulty serum to veterans.
They were so close, yet so far to turning the lizard into a great villain. We could have had a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde-esque villain, with Kurt Connors being conflicted, but the lizard just taking over. Yet it was mostly Jekyll. We see little to no doubt in Kurt Connors that he's doing wrong.
After the carnage on the bridge, he ups his dosage, saying that, hey, look at all the good things that are happening to my health. I don't even need glasses anymore. Completely forgetting the fact that when he turns into the lizard, he acts more aggressively, and that this aggression makes him destroy everything in his path. And after his confrontation with Peter in the sewer, he devises a plan, saying, hey, what if I turned everyone into lizards?
Yeah, we don't see a scene where Kurt Connors is all like, hey, maybe this isn't the right thing to do. Like, the aggression could lead to everything on the planet just being destroyed. Lizards are cold-blooded. What are you gonna do during the winter? At most, we get this one line of dialogue.
Would you give it all up after all you know you can do?
And that's not really much because it takes him a mere 2 seconds to inject himself with the lizard antidote and become his alter ego again.
You're not gonna get in the way of my plan, There's no need to stop me, Peter.
Huh? You went on looking for him. He wasn't even trying to stop you. So why are you convincing him not to stop you? It's like when you get angry at someone and say, hey, I'm not talking to you anymore. But you just talk to them. What is going to Peter's school all about? You could have just gone to Oscorp Tower and just sprayed your serum all over. Peter would have been in school. It would have been too late for him to save everybody because everybody would have been a lizard. It makes me so angry to see lost potential. We could have had one of the greatest villains of all time. Yet we have the typical, I'll take over the world to save the world villain that makes a fatal mistake to ruin his plans.
Kurt Connor's storyline ends with him saving Peter's life, which is too little too late. We needed to see him be a good guy while he was under the influence of the serum, not when the serum has worn off. And then he's sent to jail.
Damn it, Mark, why do you try so hard? Why are you the way that you are? You know what, I completely forgot about the Stacys. So there's Gwen Stacy, who's Peter's love interest. And then there's Captain Stacy.
When him and Peter first meet, it is absolutely glorious to see Peter put in his place.
One of the bad guys Peter captures during his bad guy crusade is this car thief. And apparently...
The car thief was leading us to the people who run the entire operation. It's been a 6-month-long sting. It's called strategy. I'm sure you're aware of the term strategy. You've probably heard about that in school.
So Peter takes one crook in, and that could have been the crook that would have brought in 5 more. Our heroine just gets more unlikable as the film goes on. But what really disappointed me about Captain Stacy is when he says this.
Ready, sir! The lizard's headed toward Canal Street Station! What about Spider-Man? He was inside the high school! I want that Spider-Man off the street!
A whole police squadron has been taken down by the lizard, and yet he's still trying to catch the Spider-Man.
I know Peter is messing up police activity indirectly, but the lizard just took out a whole police squadron. At that point, you call an audible at the 1-yard line and say, hey, let's forget about the Spider-Man and let's go for the lizard. So close to having someone I can root for.
The captain dies buying time for Peter to stop the lizard and makes him promise to stay away from Gwen. Because when they are together, Gwen puts herself in a lot of harmful situations for the sake of helping Peter. Hitting the lizard with a trophy, getting trapped in the closet of Oscorp trying to hide from the lizard.
This is a man's dying wish. And Peter breaks it. Damn it, Mark! Peter had one last chance to have a redeemable quality, and he goes and squanders it. How did you do this, Mark? The plot points in the first half of the film are completely forgotten about. We have an unlikable lead, and we have a villain with so much potential, yet you don't capitalize on that potential? Mr. Raimi, I beg you, please make another Spider-Man film.
Richard Parker, and then Richard Parker.